All right, so let's see the first question. It seems like the first two questions is very okay. All right, very okay, meaning nobody made errors there. Got one lah. Yeah, only 1%. So if it's like just 1 or 2% getting it wrong, I wouldn't spend a long time going through that question. You understand, right? Okay, so this particular one, for me, it is question 8. On your paper, it is question 1. Why is that so? Because remember, one mock exam, we split into 4 parts. We split into 4 parts. There are 28 MCQ. Every week, we are looking at 7 MCQ. So it goes in order. Clear? So in case you are wondering, this is actually your question 1. Not a big issue here. All right. So animal T, as shown in the diagram, burrows into the mud. What is the meaning of burrows into the mud? What is burrow? Anyone? Type into the chat if you know. Whoa, so fast. Okay. Yes, thank you. It's like digging in, right? But it doesn't have like hands or legs to dig, isn't it? You look at this animal. Okay, so do you think it can dig? It can't. Okay, burrow is a little bit like wriggle, correct? Wriggle into the mud. At the bottom of streams when the weather becomes hot and dry. Now, streams don't have a lot of water. The water body is not huge like the sea. So therefore, when the weather is hot and drier, it tends to dry up. But at the bottom, it's still muddy. It doesn't dry up completely. Okay, there will be just very little around, little water around. So what you will do is you will burrow deep into the mud, right? And sleep until the wet season returns. Okay, so what is the structural adaptation that actually helps this animal T to burrow into the mud more easily? You all know a streamlined body. What's the meaning of streamlined body? Yeah, Prita, something like that. Okay. Okay, what's the meaning of streamlined body? Hakim, I saw your hand. Yeah, something like that. But if you have put in words, how are you going to explain it? How would you define a streamlined body? Okay, I can see. Okay, you are giving me different suggested answers. Okay, I have someone, okay, Yashika says the body is curved in a special way to ease swimming for an animal. To ease movement, I would say, not just swimming, movement. Like a sports car also has a streamlined body. You all realize that? Sports car, it has to. Why? Because without a streamlined body, okay, it cannot move very fast. You need it to move such that it's like gliding. No, cannot say no, but with very little resistance. Yes, Sean said very little resistance in water or air. Okay, so it's like to assist the movement, make it more swift, reduce friction. Yeah, the resistance in the air, we call it air resistance. That's the friction. So streamlined cars, right, have lesser air resistance. Good. So yeah, your idea is almost there. Okay, very good. So, but you cannot say things like equal forces pulling on both sides. Yeah, because if you look at a streamlined car, how do you exactly define that? Even the aeroplanes are also streamlined. Okay, that's why the nose part, right? The nose of the aeroplane, you can see the shape is very different from the original planes they built very long time ago. Okay, nowadays it's all very streamlined. So this is important. Streamlined. What is the purpose? They didn't ask you for the purpose, right? They only asked you what is the structural adaptation. If they ask you why this type of structural adaptation, you can't just say to burrow into the mud more easily. All right, you have to think of how you're going to answer that. But usually for this, they will not ask. They will ask for sports car. They will ask for aeroplanes. Next, study the flowchart. There's this organism or a few organisms Okay, classified according to the various questions. First question here, does it have 3 body parts? What is this particular organism that has 3 body parts? Quickly tell me. It's okay, pizza, no worries. Okay, great. Then tell me now, what are the 3 body parts? What are the 3 body parts? Some of you name 2. Some of you name 1. Some of you gave 3. Yep. You have Yancy, do you remember the 3 body parts? How many of you cannot remember? Come on, be honest. Yeah, sorry, I cannot remember. Okay, some of you cannot remember, right? Yes. It's okay. If they were to ask you and you don't know, now is the time you recall. You have the head, you have the thorax, and you have the abdomen. 3 body parts, okay? So when they talk about 3 body parts and say yes, right, that means this must be an insect. Okay, so you have the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. Okay, now, next question. Does it produce milk for its young? If it's a yes, what is this particular animal? Hold on, my phone, I forgot to silence it. So noisy. Okay, yes, good. Thank you very much. Wow, you are very fast. Before I even ask, you all type in ready, right? Huh? Okay, good. Now, so mammals, good. And then, does it breathe through moist skin? What kind of organism actually breathe through the moist skin? Okay, thank you. Very fast, yes. If you are fast, then we can play games, okay? Later we'll play games. Amphibian, good, good, good. Yeah, spelling a bit wrong, so take note of your spelling. Okay, so after you have already sorted this out, okay, so which organism does not have 3 body parts, doesn't produce milk for its young, does not breathe through moist skin? Okay, if you don't know, all right, then you just check for PQR first. P, insect. So insect, we have 2 here. Then mammal. And then R is amphibian. So our answer is definitely D. All right, definitely D. So this must be a fish. Yeah, thank you very much. So if you have made the error, I think you understand now. All right, question 10, which is your number 3. Okay, blood samples were collected from blood vessels G and H as shown. Now, so if you look at where are the blood vessels, G actually is the blood vessel from the heart to the small intestine. H is the one moving from or connected from the small intestine to the heart, right? So if you look at G over here, let's think about the digested food, okay? The blood samples were actually taken from the blood vessel and tested for different substances. First one is on digested food. So it says that G contains more digested food than H. Is that possible? Can the heart actually give a lot of digested food to the small intestine? No. Yeah, Sean, thank you for shaking your head. Yep, so this is wrong and this is wrong. Should be the other way around. So let's look at oxygen now. Can the heart, okay, give oxygen to the small intestine? Yes or no? Yes, it's true. Okay, so yes. Then from the small intestine towards the heart, the blood carries less oxygen. Is it true? Okay, yeah. Do you all know that the blood that actually passes all over our body and coming back to the heart and to the lungs, right? There is still oxygen. Do you all know that? You all must know. So you cannot say things like, oh, there's only carbon dioxide that is going from the parts of the body, okay, to the heart and then to the lungs. Not so, okay? There will still be some oxygen for sure. All right, so very good. You recall this. So this is correct. Let's check why. Why talks about carbon dioxide? It seems like it's the same amount, you know. in G as well as H, that is not possible. There must be more carbon dioxide, okay, for those, for the blood that is traveling towards the heart. So this one is the wrong one. Okay, so answer is B only. Right, so those of you who got this wrong, do you understand this now? Yeah, you understand this part now? Okay, so you go graph by graph, and then you look at the possibility by looking at the substance you are talking about, and then try to understand how the body functions work. Okay, so you should be able to understand this part. Yeah, Prita, I saw your responses also. Okay, Prita, wouldn't the digested food, digested food will go into the blood. It will not turn into the blood. Okay, Prita, be careful there. Maybe you type too fast. Question 11. This is your 4. Diagram 1 shows a flower A. It gives off a sweet scent when in full bloom. Full bloom means it opens up. Okay, very, very big. The whole flower opens up very nicely and it will give off a sweet scent. There is a purpose for it to actually give off a very nice scent when it is fully bloomed. Okay, and this is actually what they are trying to ask you. So you have diagram 2 now showing a magnified view of 2 kinds of pollen grains, J and K. So which one is most possibly the pollen grain produced by flower A and its pollination method? All right, so sweet scent tells you something. Yeah, insects, very good to attract insects, Prita, yes. So we know that the sweet scent, right? Okay. Because attracted by sweet scent. Okay, so they are attracted by the sweet scent. And then which pollen grain looks like the one from flower A? Hakim says J because it will stick on insect. Why will it stick on the insect? Why? Why stick on the insect? How come it can stick? Sharia says because of the rough surface. So you see the rough surface here, there are some hook-like thing, right? A little bit like pins and needles. Okay, so it can actually hook onto the, to cling on, to hook on to the insect or the animal. Good. So you all are aware of this. Answer is actually C, right? Okay, next. Question 12, Tom set up 4 test tubes, G, H, I, and J in an experiment. So it's similar to this particular setup. So G look like this, H look like this, I, J also look like this. It's just that there are different amounts of baking soda being added into each of the 4 test tubes. Okay, and then he measured the amount of water that was taken in by the plant. We know that baking soda increase amount of carbon dioxide. Have you done this experiment in school? Yes or no? Only Prita did. The rest of you didn't? Yashika, you didn't do? Ian, never tried? Hakim didn't. Oh, why? This is an important experiment. You're supposed to observe bubbles, in your school experiment. I remember because I was teaching in primary school previously. You all did it in P5. Wow, that's very early. Yeah, okay. Ken, if you did it in P5, good for you as well. And once in P6, so many times. And the rest of you didn't even do it once. Bethel, do you do it in school? You did. Okay, good. Yeah, all right. Seldom bring you to the science lab. Every week, you should be going to the science lab for experiment. Yeah, that is actually the plan. That's why you have so many periods for science, right? Okay, what is the most possible aim of his experiment? Now, you already have seen, Okay, the thing that changes, right, is the amount of baking soda, right? So what is the aim of his experiment? What does he want to do? Okay, what does he want to